Hey, Tina.
Hi there. Good morning, Rockland County.
How are you?
I am good. How's everybody there?
So far, we're making it.
All right. It's an awful lot happened since we spoke last. But here in this county, I'm going to talk about all the different ways that the coronavirus pandemic is affecting just about, all of our business existence. So the overview here is I'm going to talk a little bit about retail. I'm going to talk a little bit about landlords and rent disputes, and I'm going to talk about the real estate boom in the Hudson Valley. Three very different circumstances, all pretty much stemming from the coronavirus. First of all, at the shops at Nanuet, two more closures to speak of. One is the Walking Company. That's the chain that sells the the upscale athletic footwear. So they've closed, as well as Tutti Spa and Nails, which is actually having its last day today. So that punches two more holes into the shops at Nanuet, which, as we know, is already suffering very badly, which started before the pandemic but has certainly accelerated. I spoke to the folks over at the Walking Company. This is a nationwide chain that at one point had over 100 stores. And they basically told me that they are going to migrate most, if not all, of their operations online. So it's sort of a bellwether, of what sort of a mid-sized chain that can be online, will find it is more profitable than to try to support these sort of rents. Now, something like a Tutti Spa and Nails, obviously you can't get a manicure online, but that too is a chain, and they have decided, and they have an outlet in New Jersey, up in Closter, down in Closter, and in Westchester, but they have decided to close their store in the shops, and one wonders if these chains are just not finding they're not finding the pedestrian traffic that they need to support to justify their rents. We still know that the Regal Cinemas remains temporarily closed, and even like the restaurant Qdoba, they say that they'll reopen in May, but who knows? That's the Simon Mall is still I would say in a precarious place, and we're waiting to see whether they find some grand plan to turn themselves around, or whether they just kind of lease up on a store-by-store basis, over the next year or so. I was also going to talk about another story that we wrote, which is we're all familiar with the organization Bridges, right? And
absolutely. It used to be called
the Rockland
Independent Living, yeah.
So they have sued their former landlord in Rockland County Supreme Court for a large security deposit, $24,000 security deposit from their former landlord, New Hempstead Plaza LLC. They brought, what happened with them is they were supposed to move in March into the Palisades Center, in fact, and COVID delayed things, and so they stayed on a month-to-month basis, I guess paying the same rent that they had paid. They said that they had an understanding, or verbal understanding, or that they had sent an email to Martin Goldstein, who owns New Hempstead Plaza LLC. And then when they finally did move in very late June or early July, and went to get their $24,200 security deposit back, which they had tied up for 10 years, the landlord said to them that no, that money was going to be applied to something called holdover rent, which gives the landlord the opportunity to double or increase a tenant's rent when they go month to month. Bridges, which, as we know, is a nonprofit that serves people in need. I think it's they're suing. They're hoping that they can get this money back, and they're also suing for interest over 10 years on that sum. So if you want to read more about that lawsuit, that is also in last week's Rockland County Business Journal. And finally, I was just going to mention that on the good news front, where we are seeing real incredible growth is in the demand for residential real estate. The median price sale of houses in the Hudson Valley increased across every single county. But specifically, single-family home sales in Rockland County increased almost 15%, with 36% of those sales taking place in the fourth quarter. And the median sales price rose to about 10% over last year's median sales price. So it's interesting, I guess, to see how the extremes to which COVID is driving lawsuits, driving the real estate market, and also, putting extreme pressure on retail to, to rethink the whole thing, I suppose.
When is that at home supposed to open up now?
Yeah, they should be open. I understand it's next month. You can see that they're putting the finishing touches. They still have that entire second floor to lease out, which is over 100,000 square feet. Another casualty, by the way, is Michael's Tuxedos. How the iconic tuxedo place that had been,
yeah, that's been gone quite a while.
Well, it was gone from 59, and then they moved over to Middletown Road, and we wrote about them back in the summer, and they had hoped that they could hang on, but now that location on Middletown Road is empty and for rent. So I think that we're losing some of our iconic retailers and things that people have always known about here in the county. One bullet that we have dodged is that the Macy's is closing in White Plains.
I saw that, yeah, last week. But the one in the Palisade Center is staying open. For now, we've dodged that bullet. But that company is also in a state of shrinkage. Yep. So it's very uncertain times, which is why you should be reading Rockland County Business Journal. You just go online. That's all, rcbizjournal.com, and it's all this stuff is there. There's a lot. You're right. There was a lot going on this week.
A lot going on.
Not too much of it good.
Yeah, well, this is true. And if you appreciate what we're doing, we're offering $50 memberships for the whole year. There are some incentives that go with that, but more than anything, it helps support local journalism.
All right. Thank you much, Tina Traster.